Healing from trauma can feel isolating as hell. If you're tired of healing in silence, scrolling for validation, and feeling like no one truly gets it, this space was built for you. The Healing and CPTSD Community Hub is where that silence breaks. It's where isolation softens, where you're not just seen, you're supported with real tools, real connection, and trauma-informed support that actually helps. Inside, you'll find live support circles, private spaces for shared lived experiences, healing workshops, somatic classes, nervous system tools and resources, a replay library of every single event we've ever hosted, and drop-in spaces for whenever you need to feel less alone. This isn't just content, it's community, it's co-regulation, it's a place to finally land and breathe. If we haven't met yet, I'm Danielle, but most people around here just call me Danny. I'm a complex trauma survivor and the creator of the Healing and CPTSD Community. I've lived through the chaos, the numbness, the hypervigilance, the deep loneliness that comes with CPTSD. And I built this space because I got tired of trying to heal in systems that didn't understand people like us. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a coach. I'm not here to fix you. I'm just a survivor who decided to stop waiting for a space that felt safe and create one instead. The Healing and CPTSD Community Hub is the space I needed in the middle of my worst breakdowns. It's the space I wish I had when I was trying to piece together my healing from Instagram posts and Google searches. It's built with care, with intention, with the reality of trauma in mind, not the fantasy version. And I'm in this community too. I show up messy, I take breaks, and I come back. And if all you can do is that, show up in whatever way you can, you're already doing enough. If you've been following us and thinking, I love the posts, but I need something deeper, this is it. Come take a look around. Welcome to the Healing and CPTSD Community Hub. This is our private membership platform outside of social media. This is the desktop that you are seeing. It is also available in a mobile app, so you can have that right on your phone. This is hosted on Mighty Networks, which is just a community platform that we have gone in and created our own community within this platform. As we go through this over here on the left-hand side is our dashboards. This is everything that basically helps you navigate and go through the entire community. So first up, you have members here. This will be blurred out for our members' protection. You cannot see who our members are unless you are part of the community hub for privacy purposes. When you click here on the personalized feed, this is basically a customized feed to each and every single one of our members. So your feed here will look different than my feed, and my feed will look different than every single other person's feed. So basically it's a customized social feed for every single space that you're part of on the platform. So there are different spaces, and this will make more sense once we start going through the hub and all the different spaces we have. However, personalized feed is customized to you for the spaces that you are part of. Next up, we have RSVP to all events. So every single event that we have is here available for you to RSVP. We host over 15 events a month. They're all virtual. We have support circles, we have community connecting events, we have somatic classes, we have book club, we have community connecting activities and events, we have special events, workshops, educational, everything. Last month we had 17 events inside of this community platform. So we put all of the events through the end of the year, so you can go ahead and plan out for the rest of the year all of the events. We have in this pink section over here on the dashboard is kind of the essentials, as we call them. So all event replays, we literally have recorded every single event that we've ever had on this platform since September of 2024. So there are literally hundreds of events that have already happened that are on this platform available to you to view. So these, community connecting events, letter writing workshops, support circles, somatic movements, tapping, sound healing, hypnosis, educational workshops, literally like special events, everything. We did color your grief monsters, we did rock painting, we did vision boarding, we did walking together, like all of these virtual events for us to connect with our members together and do things together. Next up, your free gifts. So This is just a section that has some fun little things for you. So we have like your personal healing contract, healing certificates, being the expert of your own experience. We have templates that you can announce being a member on social media. So if you join the hub and you want to let everybody know you joined, we already have templates made for you to make it as easy as possible. We have discounts and deals. So if you click into promo codes for physical products, these are physical products that myself and or our members have found beneficial, and they are listed here with promo codes to get discounts. We have specific discounts for community members. So I'm an EFT and tapping practitioner. So everybody that is a member of our community hub gets 50% off of all of my tapping with Danny courses. There are other discounts and deals here that have been donated specifically for our community members. Next up, we have free offerings. So these again are guides, challenges, checklists, ebooks, workbooks, kits, all available to you that have been donated to our platform that are available to download for free. Then we have resources. So I started Healing CPTSD Community in 2020, and I have been collecting resources from all of you since then. We have had it up on our website. Let us know what resources have been helpful. Y'all have been sending them in. I have been compiling lists. So when you click books and literature, it'll literally scroll and there are hundreds of books from our community members that have sent in and said this is helpful. The point of this is we are trying to collect every single thing to make your healing journey more approachable, less chaotic, less confusing. We want everything in one place for you. Podcasts that have been sent in that our community members have said have been beneficial. So they are all right here. YouTube videos and resources, the same thing. Different types of resources that individuals have said have been helpful. We also have submit resources. So if the resource isn't listed there and you think it's helpful, like our wonderful community member, Anna, who is also our domestic abuse support circle leader and our director of engagement, she let us know that this was a resource that was helpful. So we will add it to the resource list. So even though this is already built, this is a constantly growing space. And the more members that we have join and the more we get insights from individuals like you coming in here and letting us know what has been helpful, the more and more we're helping our community. Then we have feedbacks and requests. So it is important for us to get the voice from our community and hear from you. So this is always available. You can come here and you can let us know feedback, requests, thoughts, whether it's a topic you want covered, whether it's a certain feature that you feel like would be beneficial. I do send out a survey every 3 to 4 months to everybody. However, this is available 24/7 and always there to have the voice heard of our members. One of the biggest things I hear from people is I'm nervous. It seems like such a big community. I don't know if I can handle that. And I get it. We do have a big presence on Instagram, but the Healing CPTSD Community Hub, it's not like that. This space is small, it's intentional, it's quiet, soft, and grounded, not chaotic. It's not a flood of noise. It's not thousands of people shouting into a void. It's a slower, safer, more intimate experience where you can actually feel connected. So if the size of our platform made you hesitant, I want you to know this space was built to feel the opposite of overwhelming. It was built to feel like an exhale. The green section, this is new members here. So this is basically your onboarding process. When you land on the community hub, once you first sign up, you will get to this page, which is read this first. This outlines everything for you. Literally in this whole section, I'm really over explaining everything, being as transparent as possible to make sure that you have all the knowledge, all the information, and that your brain doesn't go on journeys or wondering how things are. I try to explain everything right here for you. So read this first goes over how to download that Mighty Networks app, how to find our community within it, how to complete your profile, reading our community guidelines. Now, if you follow us on social media, then you know that I do not claim to be a safe space because social media isn't safe. It's a public platform. Now, even though this is not a public platform, this is private, I still do not claim it to be a safe space. Safety is subjective, and I personally do not believe a group of CPTSD individuals can get together and claim it to be a safe space because what's safe to you might not be safe to me, and vice versa. There's no way that I can guarantee that this is a safe place and you will never be triggered, or you will never not like something, or you will never not feel uncomfortable. I don't know where you're at in your healing journey, and that's not what this space is about. That's why we're not a safe space, we're a brave space. However, we do try to make it as safe as possible. So we do have community guidelines to try to do that. Again, we continue explaining everything here of how to navigate the platform when you go to community guidelines. Basic things, no harassing, no bullying, no judging personal choices, a whole bunch of things to try to, again, make it as safe as possible. I will say one thing that I think is important to know before coming onto this space is we do not allow religious discussions here. We do not talk about God. We do not talk about praying for people. None of that happens on this platform. At the end of the day, religious trauma is complex trauma, and we have a lot of religious abuse survivors on our platform, and we want to be, mindful of their triggers and their religious abuse that they went through. So that is a very strict rule that we have here. Same thing, no pushing forgiveness on abusers. If you feel like you can come in here and not talk about God or constantly be telling people you're going to pray for them, you can still be part of this space, even if you believe in God and are religious, but this just isn't the platform for it. However, if you have an issue with us making this rule and guideline, and I've heard from many of you that you have issues with this, and this just unfortunately is not the community for you. Another couple things though to point out that I think are important. We do not allow asking for a diagnosis. We are not mental health professionals. We're survivors like you, so we do not diagnose or treat CPTSD here. Do not come on the platform and ask if we can diagnose you, because we can't. We also do not offer one-on-one support. So again, these are rules and guidelines that we have in place just to make it as safe as possible and to make sure that everybody's on the same page. If you keep scrolling down in this section, we also have, again, lots of information because I over explain everything. We also have, how our complaint process works, how our violation process works. So there is a formal complaint process for member conflicts. There's formal complaint process for complaints against leadership. So everything is here. The policy for conflict between members, the policy for formal complaints against leadership, it is all here available for you. You can click into that. There's a form that you can fill out if there's any issues. There's an entire policy, and it literally walks through what the steps are if there are any sort of conflicts. We haven't had to deal with this yet, but it is in place because as we continue to grow, the reality is that we are all human beings with all our own traumas and our own triggers, and disagreements may happen, and we want to deal with them by people taking accountability and having a repair process. And that's why we have thought out and mapped out the entire process for it, which is here, again, over-explained everything for you so that you feel comfortable and know what you're getting into. Next up, we have privacy and security. So this goes over everything that just, again, allows you to be in control, mainly how to use the chat feature. There is a DM feature inside of this platform. You can turn it off. People are not allowed to direct message you and demand all of your time. So this basically goes over everything in that and how to protect yourself, how to speak to people through DMs if you want to, how to turn off the chat feature, and all of that. We have posting guidelines. This goes over everything you need to know about posting. Where do I post? How can I post? Can I ask for one-on-one support or a diagnosis? No, we just talked about that. Again, over-explaining everything to make sure that everybody is knowing what is happening, what to expect at an event. Crisis resources. We are not crisis support, one-on-one support, or emergency intervention. We do, however, have a list of hotlines here available to you, and we also have a safety plan that you can fill out before emergency situations so that you are prepared. Let's also be really clear about something. This space is not a substitute for mental health care. We're not therapists. We're not here to diagnose you. We don't offer crisis support or one-on-one professional help. Why? Because we're not professionals. We're survivors just like you. This community was built by people who've lived it, and while that brings depth, empathy, and real connection, it also means we have limits. We hold space, we share tools, we create support circles and conversations that are grounded in lived experience. But this isn't a place for 24/7 one-on-one support. And that's on purpose because it allows us to keep this space safe as can be, sustainable, and community centered. So if you need clinical or crisis care, we deeply encourage you to seek that alongside this, because what we offer here is real, but it's not therapy. And that's exactly what makes it so special. Next up, we have our community feed. Our community feeds are basically our social feeds. So when you go to about community feeds, again, this talks things over explains everything, talks about what each of these feeds are. So the home feed and the joy feed are two feeds that basically every single person is part of when they join this community automatically. We do not allow selling on our platform. There's no GoFundMe's allowed. You can't sell to people on the platform. However, we do think it's important for us, our members, to be able to share what they're working on, whether that's their social medias, whether that's their websites or their offerings or their courses or their books or whatever they have going on. And we do that with a Follow Friday. So every Friday we put up a Follow Friday post and our members can comment in there and share, directing them outside of the platform. So that will show up in the home feed. Other things that come up in the home feed, we do a self-care Sunday, which is basically just a short little challenge that we give to our community to kind of just get them to do a little for themselves. So this week's challenge was daydream time. Give yourself permission to sit quietly and daydream without guilt for 5 to 10 minutes. So every Sunday we give a little self-care Sunday reminder challenge. Every Monday, we'll scroll down. Every Monday we do a Mindful Monday question. Every Wednesday we do Win Wednesday. So this has become one of our staple parts of our home feed is our Win Wednesday, where people share their big wins, their small wins, whatever kind of wins, and we celebrate together. Some people will post in this as well, are the events that we're hosting for that day. There will be reminders. So that's the home feed. The joy thread is our social feed that is designed to bring joy into our lives. So whether that's to make you smile or laugh. So there's mainly a lot of paintings, artwork, animal photo, lots and lots of animal photos. Next up, we have our two feeds that you are not automatically part of. These are opt-in spaces. One is community questions, and this is a space designated for community members to be able to ask questions to the community. We also propose a community question every Saturday. And then if anybody has questions to the community that they want to ask, they can do that in this feed. All emotions welcome here. This is a space for people to be able to fully express themselves. Triggering topics here, heavy emotional topics, difficult emotions, everything can go here. This is really a space, again, it's an opt-in space. So if people do not want to be part of this space and they don't want that coming up on their personalized feed, then they wouldn't join this space. But if they do and are comfortable with that and want that here, this is what would be the place for it. Here's something we don't say enough. Healing has become a privilege, and it shouldn't be. For so many of us, finding support meant long wait lists, expensive therapy, or spaces that didn't actually understand trauma, or more specifically, CPTSD. And that's not okay. We created the Healing CPTSD Community Hub to change that, to make healing more approachable, more human, and more possible for people like us. This space is survivor-led on purpose because we've lived it, because we know what it's like to feel alone, overwhelmed, and unsure where to turn. And because we're done waiting for institutions to create the kind of care that we actually need. Here, you don't need a diagnosis to be valid. You don't need to explain your trauma to earn support. You don't need to have it all together to be welcome. We're building a healing space that's based on real connection, not clinical detachment, on shared humanity, not hierarchy, on lived experience, not just theory. Because healing should never be reserved for the few. It should be reachable, relational, and something we don't have to do alone anymore. Next up, we have support circles. So you click on About Support Circles. This explains what support circles are. Then you go to circle guidelines, a list of guidelines for our support circles. And then each one of these support circles is basically a space inside of our community. So when you click into it, you have events. These are all of the support circle events we have. Raised by Narcissists is a support circle that I run. When you click about, this basically talks about the support circle. So a lot of people come here and are like, I don't know if my parents are narcissists. And I explain here that if you had emotionally immature parents, this is probably a great space for you, basically. You go to replays and tools. So every single replay that we have of this circle is here available to you. We also have different resources and such that have been donated to the platform and to our members. And each one of these spaces has their own feed, so their own social media feed here available for them. And this was a request from our community members. We host these support circles, which are the virtual events that happen once a month for 1 hour. And basically, our members were like, is there a way that we can like connect with this same group of people throughout the month in between these sessions? So we added feeds, social feeds, to every single one of these support circles. You can also click on members, and that will give you a list of the people who join this space. Again, these spaces you are not automatically part of when you join. You get to choose which spaces you want to be part of. So we have Raised by Narcissists. Same thing when you go into parenting with CPTSD. We have the events, we have an about section, we have the replays, and we have a feed. So every single one of these does this. So we have Raised by Narcissists Support Circle, Parenting with CPTSD, Domestic Abuse, Sexual Abuse, Child Sexual Abuse, Addiction Recovery, LGBTQIA, Immigrants with CPTSD, Men's Only, and BIPOC. So the men's only private circle and the BIPOC private circle, these are private circles, which means that you cannot be part of these spaces unless you identify with those identities. Number one, the men's only private circle, we have just started developing because we noticed that even though 90% of our community is women, we still have men in our space. And what we found was men would join and then they'd see it's predominantly women and then leave. And we didn't want that because men deserve healing too. So we created our men's only private circle, which is basically their own private space on the platform so they can have a place to heal together. This is something that we're currently building out and getting different men involved to help develop out this men's space on here for them. Men are obviously open to the entire platform. However, we did want to allow them to have their own space on here as well because they deserve healing too, and we want to make sure that this space is open to them. Next, we have the BIPOC private circle. So this is for Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color. So if you identify with that, this is the space for you. It is private because I believe that people of color deserve a space that do not need white bodies being part of, where they can openly speak without fear of judgment or retaliation. So even myself, I do not see any of the replays. We have two wonderful individuals running this support space, and I get the videos, I upload the subtitles, and I upload it to the platform. I never watch them. And I trust the two individuals that I have running the space because I think it's really, really important for people of color to have their own space within this platform to heal. And so we do that here. Let's talk about the support circles for a second, because I already know the idea of joining a live event might feel a little scary. You might be wondering, what if I freeze? Do I have to talk? What if I'm not ready? Or maybe even, what if I'm too much? And I want you to know those fears are normal, truly. So many of us feel them. So let me lay it out clearly. You do not have to talk if you do not want to. You don't even have to be on screen. You can show up in the chat. You can just come and listen. You can come and go. There's no pressure to perform or participate in any specific way. And no, you don't have to come to every single event. Healing isn't a class schedule. This isn't all or nothing here. Come when it feels right. Rest when you need to. You'll still be part of it. And if you can't make it live, every single one of our circles and events are recorded. Not to make you feel watched, but so that people in different time zones with different schedules or in different stages of readiness can still experience the support afterwards. These spaces are built to be flexible, to hold you without pushing you, and to let you come exactly as you are, even if that means just listening from the sidelines. Next up is this is actually Common Ground. So Common Ground is actually something that we do not have live and active on the platform yet, but will be there. So depending on when you're watching this, basically this is just more chat feeds. We had a lot of requests from our community members wanting specific topics and feeds that they could speak about specific topics. So that's basically what this is. There was Living with Disabilities, Chronic Conditions Collective, Psychedelic Chat, Cannabis Club, Healing Professionals, Creative Healing. These are feeds in a space that we're building out, that when we have a bigger team that we can handle something like this will be added. And last but certainly not least, we have tools and resources. So when you click on the CPTSD toolkit, this is basically a comprehensive course giving you all the foundational knowledge that you need for healing and CPTSD. This is basically a course of everything that we wanted when we first started out in our healing. So it covers what is trauma, what is complex trauma, PTSD and CPTSD, the causes, why CPTSD isn't recognized. It talks about the symptoms, PTSD, CPTSD symptoms. It goes in depth into each symptom. And the thing is here is that we go about everything that healing is not one size fits all. So when we talk about every single symptom, we go into the symptoms and then we have team members who come in and talk about that symptom, what that symptom looks like for them and how they deal with it. So we get a ton of different perspectives for each of the symptoms, for what triggers are, all of that. So, you know, there's a wide range of perspectives that are here for it. We go over trauma responses, triggers, glimmers. We go over the brain. We go over the nervous system, polyvagal theory, how to regulate your nervous system, how to create your own toolkit. We talk about therapy. We talk about healing, all of these things. Now, the toolkit is a living and breathing course, basically. So we will continue to develop off of this. So you can request the next topics. We are currently working on a relationship and attachment section for the CPTSD toolkit. However, if there's other topics, you can request them here, and that is how we will create them. Next up, we have support letters. Probably one of my favorite initiatives on this platform. Basically, support letters is support letters for survivors from survivors. So when you go to explore letters, you literally have dozens of letters here. There's letter for support, there's general, you have letters for specific topic. You can click in, you know, letters for domestic violence support. You click in here and there is a letter here from a survivor that has been where you are. Then you have where you can click here and you literally click this. This is a black and white PDF that you can print off. I have a couple of these folded up in my mental health breakdown corner over here. So these are just letters from survivors to survivors, from people who have been there. And I think that's something that makes our community really, really special, is that we are survivor led. So we are people that have been where you are. And I think that that goes a really long way in healing, especially with people with CPTSD. So you can request letters. So if there's a letter for a specific topic that isn't here, you can request that. And some of those have already been uploaded on the platform. And yeah, these are a lifeline, truly. Okay, let's pause for a second, because I know this might feel like a lot. And if your first instinct is, this looks amazing, but I'm already overwhelmed, I don't have time for this, what if I can't keep up? I get it. I do. Because when you live with CPTSD, everything can start to feel like too much, even good things. Especially good things, especially when you've never had consistent support before, or when healing has always come with pressure, shame, or feeling like you're falling behind. So let me say this clearly. You do not have to do all of it. You don't have to show up every day. You don't have to prove anything to belong here. This space is here for you, on your timeline, in your rhythm, at your capacity. You can show up silently. You can take breaks. You can come back messy. You're still welcome. You are still part of it. You are still healing, even when it's quiet. I'm not showing you all of this to pressure you. I'm showing it to you to remind you this is available, and it will still be here whenever you are ready. Next up, we have workshops and education. So I have been compiling all the workshops and education replays that we have and uploading them into this section, because this is an easy way to get access to what we've already had. So all of our workshops and educations will be here, and we will continue to upload and move the ones that we've already had over. We have tapping and EFT. Again, I'm an EFT and tapping practitioner, so you have all of the replays here of all of the EFT events that we've had. We have upcoming events as well. Healing hypnosis. When you click into this, you have an entire intro video from the wonderful Christina, who is a hypnotherapist who is on our team. And she created an entire What is Hypnosis video, talks about the myths, how to use it safely. She created 6 healing hypnosis videos for all of you based on CPTSD symptoms, coping with dissociation, coping with flashbacks, nurturing self, regaining control over emotions. These are phenomenal. I highly suggest giving these a listen. Next, we have somatic movements. These are the classes, the movement classes that we have here. So we have trauma-informed yoga, we have Qigong, we have seated somatics, and then we have all of the replays. So we have on-demand videos of them, we have replay videos of the classes. There's literally a library of somatic resources here just developing and continually being added to. So if you can't make a live event, it's okay because we have this here. Listen, healing isn't one size fits all, and it's not supposed to be. Every single one of us comes into this space with a different story, different scars, different needs. So having a variety of tools and resources isn't overwhelming, although it might feel like it. It's essential because the truth is not every tool is going to resonate with every single person. Not every space is going to feel like the right fit, and that's okay. Your healing gets to be personal. It gets to evolve, and it gets to look completely different from someone else's without being any less valid. That's why the Hub offers so many different tools. Because some days you might need a live circle. Other days, a replay and a quiet space to breathe. Sometimes you just need to read a post and feel less alone. And that still counts. This isn't about doing it all. It's about finding what works for you when you need it and letting your healing journey be exactly that, yours. Next up, we have sound healing. We had a phenomenal sound healing experience during our theme of grief in March. It was a phenomenal healing experience. We had Mel Beyond Yoga as a guest host come in and do this experience with us. It was phenomenal. The sound healing experience is here. We hope to have her back and many other sound healers back, and those replays and events will all be here. Then we have self-massage. We have a phenomenal trauma-informed massage therapist and survivor who's joining our team, and she will be doing self-massage classes every single month to teach us how to self-massage and connect with our body. Very excited about that. We also have book club. So book club hosts, we go through one book every 2 months. And basically, we pick the books based on what our community has voted. The replays are available of the past ones and a feed as well to stay in touch with the other members who are reading the book. This was requested to add a feed here for y'all, and we did that. And that is the Healing and CPTSD Community Hub. I hope y'all like it. Come join us. All right. Let's talk money, because I know some of you are watching this and thinking, okay, but how much does this actually cost? Or even, why isn't this free? And honestly, I get it. Healing is expensive, and for all of us, it shouldn't be. It feels unfair to have to pay for support that we should have always had access to. That said, here's what we've built this on: transparency, flexibility, and mutual respect. That's why we offer a sliding scale fee, anywhere from $28 to $200 a month. You choose what fits your capacity. No proof required, no shame. Now that you've seen everything that's included, the live support, the private spaces, the tools, the connection, the care, I'm pretty sure you probably know that anywhere in that range is a steal. And just to put it into perspective, $28 a month is less than $1 a day. And yeah, even that can feel like a lot while you're surviving. But here's why it's there. This space is completely survivor-led. We're not a big company. We're not backed by corporations. Every single person holding space, including me, is a volunteer. The monthly fee helps us cover tech, tools, and the ability to keep this going. It's not about profit, it's about sustainability. So we can keep showing up, so you can keep coming back. And if $28 still feels like too much right now, apply for a scholarship. Seriously, we'd rather have you in this space than have you miss out because of money. So now that you've seen what's inside the Healing and CPTSD Community Hub, you know this isn't just a membership. It's a space built by survivors for survivors. It's connection, it's co-regulation, it's real healing without the shame, the pressure, or the performance. This is the space we wish we had when we were in the thick of it. And now it's here for you. No more scrolling, no more doing this alone, no more trying to piece it together on your own. Whether you join at $28 or $200 a month, this space is yours. The support, the live events, the private spaces, the tools, the care, it's all available to you. You're not behind. You're not too much. You are right on time. So if your body's whispering yes, trust that. We'd love to see you inside.